Hump Day. It's Hump Day, y'all. Wednesday, the last Wednesday of the month. Last Wednesday of the month. And this is the Daily Go Getimism Show. I'm your host on 752, Hump Day Wednesday, and we are talking about couldn't save his job to save his life. So tonight we're going to be talking about when you have tried to save somebody else's job. We're not even talking about your own. When you have tried to save somebody else's job, you tried to keep somebody from getting fired. You tried to get somebody to do the work that they were supposed to do and get out of the way, collect their check and all of that kind of stuff. And they were just hard-headed about it. They were just making too many waves at work. They were just fighting the power a little bit too much. And, and your efforts to save their job may have just fell by the wayside. In the meantime, let's get funky. Are y'all ready for the switch up? Are you ready for the switch up? Are you ready for the switch up? Switch up. Hump Day. Yeah. All right. So this is what we're doing tonight. This is the This is the Daily Go Getimism Show. Hump Day Wednesday. Today we are talking about couldn't save his job to save his life. So tonight we're going to be talking about when you have tried to help somebody save their job. Have you ever been dealing with a hardhead, a ne'er-do-well, somebody who just wouldn't listen, somebody who had a job, maybe had skills, maybe even had a lot of talents, but their talents always went to the wayside because they just couldn't get along at work. They just wouldn't do the things at work in order to keep a job, in order to keep a paycheck coming. So maybe they couldn't make it to work on time. Maybe they called out at the drop of a dime. Oh, the Super Bowl is on. The Super Bowl is on February 9th. I got to call out instead of setting the date way before the time when you know you're not going to come in. You wait until that day and do a late call out. Put your whole team in jeopardy. But whatever, however you feel about it. We're going to talk about when you are the person that they come home to, come crying to, come complaining to when they get fired. Again, couldn't save their job to save their life. You may have detailed every little thing that they needed to do in order to secure their position at work. And they did everything the opposite of what you said to do because they were emotional and they decided that whatever that they were feeling at the time that things happened, they had to express it. Now, I don't have any problems with freedom of expression, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with saying the way that you feel. But I also think that there's nothing wrong with exercising some self-control, some self-restraint, and some self-preservation. So, we want to talk about that tonight on the Daily Go Get. The Daily Go Getter, the daily. It's the Daily Go Getter show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off left lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talking about how he couldn't save his job tonight. As y'all come in, man, please do me one little solid. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, get them likes up, y'all. Get them likes up. I promise that this show is going to be worth it. Middle of the week, hump day, yeah, baby. So let me get these instruments out of the way. Let's get it popping, y'all. Let's get it popping. Let me move these instruments out the way. I said to move these instruments out the way now. You know how we do. It's the DG show coming through for you. How y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling? We good? We good? Everybody all right? Everybody straight? Let me see. T carry right morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peepers going directly into your site. And what's that? Hit slap? Is that like short for bitch slap? Hit slap says this just cured my depression. Yo, man. yo, man. Good looking out for saying that. I ain't going front. That makes me feel good. That's what's up. And Cheryl Halsey, what's going on, ma? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming through. And Reese's S. Barkley, thanks for coming through. I appreciate y'all. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Couldn't save his job to save his life. Yo, it is, and it could be a him or a her, because there are plenty of females out there. We're gonna talk about that too, that seem hell bent on being on the unemployment line. You know what I mean? That seem hell bent on collecting unemployment benefits. It ain't always sweet like that. Anybody who has ever been on unemployment, anybody who has ever had to collect unemployment, know that collecting unemployment ain't what it used to be. Before, it used to be sweet. You just had to show proof that you was looking for a job or whatever. You could get extensions. You could be on unemployment for 2 or 3 years. I knew people who did it. Now they be trying to get you up off of that thing. If you get fired in a way to whereas you can apply for unemployment benefits, they be trying to, give you like 90 days, maybe 180 days, and then you have to apply again. It's not easy to stay on unemployment. And, collecting unemployment benefits can make it feel like you're begging them for the money. You pay into unemployment when you work. Sure, there are people who abuse the system. People who will work like 120 days, because you only have to work 90 days in order to be eligible to collect benefits. So I know people who have worked 120 days just to be able to cross that threshold. And I've known people who have gotten themselves fired, literally gotten themselves fired. So because they didn't want to work. They didn't want to work. And you know, I come from an era where if you didn't work, you didn't eat. You don't work, you don't eat. You don't work, you don't eat. So that's what we're talking about. Where you are trying to help somebody keep their job. Now, who has done it? Who has done it? Have you ever seen somebody that you knew was on the brink of getting fired? It could have been your brother. It could have been your sister. It could have been your girlfriend. It could have been your boyfriend. It could have been your spouse. It could have been your roommate. You know, listen, you got to go to work, man, because if you lose your job, we're going to lose this apartment. This shit ain't cool. This shit ain't cool. It ain't, you know, like, you know, here you are trying to get your finances in order. You trying to keep your business straight. And here they are, they your roommate. So you're depending on their half of the rent or their portion, whatever the contribution is that you agreed on. And you realize that you're going to be doing this all by yourself because you can see the near future that they are about to fuck this whole job situation up. And it's bad. It's bad for the people who actually have decent jobs. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like to see people who make good money be fucking up. Is it just me? Cause you be thinking like, have you ever known somebody who made better money than you, but they can't keep a job? But they keep getting jobs better than your job? And you looking like, here I am making $22 an hour just trying to hold on. They getting jobs $35 an hour, $40 an hour. And they treating it like like that big ass jar of Jelly Belly jelly beans. Like, no matter how many I eat, I'm going to have plenty left. And you like, man, if I was making money like that, I'll be straight. It's not a jealousy thing. It's not even an envy thing. It's just like talk about taking something for granted. Talk about the entitlement. Like, you make decent money and you act like it's sweet out here like that. You know, you have the mentality of a couch surfer. And you make enough to be able to buy the house and the couch. All right. Couldn't save his job to save his life. You may be on the job with somebody whose job you're trying to keep. You trying to save somebody's job while you're on the job. Here you are. Probably should just be concentrating on saving your own job. And here you are trying to save somebody else that's drowning in their own job. This, man, it gets ugly. It gets ugly out here. So this is what we're going to do. Y'all see the number. For those of y'all who are new here, if you've never been here, we have a phone number that you can call in. You can call in, express yourself. We can talk about this topic until the cows come home. The number to call is area code 267-874-1949. That's the number to call. I said it, 267-874-1949. Yes, y'all. I said it, 267-874-1949. Yeah, get on the line. I said it, 267-874-1949. Yeah, get your shine, baby, on. Get your shine, baby, on. Get your shine, baby, on. Get your shine, baby. 267-874-1949, baby. Call 267-874-1949. And we will get you on up in here. It's not going to be a problem. Not a problem at all. This is the Daily Go Getimism Show. I'm your host, Sun752. I'm feeling like a real man should. And I hope you're feeling like real men and women should also. So tonight we're talking about couldn't save his job to save his life. Like, yo, yeah. 1 write-up, ding. 2 write-ups, ding. Suspension. How do you get written up twice? So maybe you got a verbal, then you got a verbal written, and then you got a suspension. Then you on your final warning and you still acting like a dickhead. I seen it. I don't know if y'all seen it, but I've seen it. I've seen people use up all of their lifelines at work. And then when the hammer finally comes down on them, they like, but I was doing better. I mean, like, why y'all want to fire me? I'm like, you ever heard of this thing called a process? Have you ever heard of this thing called a process? Because that's what we use. We don't just fire you. It's a process. So you keep messing up, you keep violating the rules, you keep breaking the rules, then you get written up and eventually you get on up out of here. So we didn't fire you, you fired yourself. The writing was clearly on the wall. But you was violating. Let's get a poll question popping. Shall we? Let's get a poll question popping. Let's see. Let me get a good poll question related to keeping a job. Okay, let's make it simple. Am I going to be able to fit it? Nope. Okay, I can do it this way. Okay, this is the poll question, y'all. This is the poll question. Have you ever tried to help someone keep their job, but they wouldn't listen and got fired anyway? Have you ever tried to help someone keep their job, but they wouldn't listen and got fired anyway? That's the poll question, y'all. Let's have at it. That's the poll question. Have you ever? I mean, I'm laughing, but it ain't really that funny. It's frustrating as hell because it can be your son or your daughter. It really can. It can be somebody that you really care about and they need that job. It could be your brother or your sister. You thinking about your nieces and nephews that ain't going to really have no Christmas or birthdays or, because at some point you're going to have to, chip in, help out, jump in, contribute. Because they mom or they dad is a goddamn ne'er-do-well. Okay, maybe not a ne'er-do-well, but they are sometime do-well. Sometimey as hell with the doing well. Aussie mate, what's good? What's good, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, man. Yeah. They was hell bent on bullshitting at work. Just wouldn't go to work. Have you ever dealt with somebody who just would not go to work? Wouldn't go to work. Calling out all the time. And it can be really frustrating because some people who work really just don't understand that they don't understand what their call outs do to the operation. They're looking at the situation like, well, if I call out, you don't have to pay me. So, what's the big deal? They don't really realize that the business is set up so a certain amount of people work. So when that person is missing, somebody else has to fill in, or it's going to make it harder for everybody. So it's like, if we playing football, there's supposed to be 11 men on the field. 11 men from our side and 11 men from their side. What happens if we only have 10 men? we might have to forfeit the game because we can't sign up for a 10 on 10. It has to be 11 on 11. There has to be 22 men on the field, 22 players on the field, 5 basketball players, 11 football players. You know, like, this is not hard. This ain't hard. So, you know, when you're not thinking about how your presence and how your work ethic and your performance makes it easier for everybody else, because everybody's going to have to work a little bit harder if you're going, because you, and the other thing is, you may not be the only one who calls out. Somebody else may call out too. So if you have 2 people who called out, now it's like, oh God. And you know what? A ne'er-do-well will say something like, well, you see, that's why y'all need to hire more people. That's what they'll say. That y'all need to hire more people. Because, you know, you don't know if somebody is going to get sick. You don't know if somebody is going to get hurt. You don't know if somebody's going to get in an accident on their way to work. You know, people have to call out. Y'all should hire more people, then you wouldn't have to worry about it. You see, when you don't understand the way that a business works, you may say things like that and you might be totally serious because you don't understand. And so somebody who does understand is going to be pissed off with you. That somebody might be your mom, might be your dad, might be your grandparents, might be your spouse, might be your girl, might be your man. They understand and they're trying to explain to you, like, no, that's not cool. Like, if you keep doing that, you know, you gonna mess around and get fired. They can't fire me because blah, blah, blah. They can't fire me because blah, 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 blah. They can't fire me because blah, blah, blah. They can't fire me because I've never known anybody or heard anybody say that they couldn't get fired that didn't get fired. Everybody I've ever known that talked like that got fired. I've never seen anybody who talks like that walk out on their own accord. I used to work at this place where everybody it was full of engineers. It was a data recovery outfit. And so, you know, they help businesses all over the world be able to recover their data, you know, the computer data. So they had these big cases of storage, data storage machines and all of that kind of shit. So they were all engineers. And I remember this one engineer guy. He said, well, you know, they can't really fire me because I can do some things here that really nobody else can do. And he believed that. And they fired him. They rehired him as a contractor. The reason that they rehired him as a contractor was so they didn't have to pay all of his entitlement benefits. You know, the health insurance, the insurance, you know, all of the stuff that you get, the benefits. They didn't want to pay that. So he was actually making more as an independent contractor, but he didn't have the benefits. So what happens when you have children? You know, you have children still living at home. You have a spouse. You may be the only income or the primary income. And so everybody's kind of riding on the money and the benefits that you provide from your job. Well, yeah, he said that. He said, you know, man, they can't really fire me. I'm not really worried about them firing me. And they were laying off people left and right and always around the holidays. So for the 4 years that I worked there, right around Thanksgiving time, it was always chopping block time. It was nasty. They used to be cutting people off right around Thanksgiving. And so I guess that was their way of getting you before it was Christmas bonus time and also giving you a chance to be able to find another job in time for Christmas. I guess that was their mentality behind it. It seemed like a terrible time in order to let people go. And they were very vocal about getting fired. Now, who knows what they were doing in order to get laid off? See, getting laid off is one of those things. Some people take pride in getting laid off versus getting fired. And other people look at being laid off like, they only lay off people that they can live without. And it's true. They don't lay. I don't want to come at the neck of anybody's ego, but they don't lay off people that they really, really need. They don't lay off people who really, really contribute. Now, some businesses are greedy to the point where they will lay off people whose salary is a little too high in order to maybe hire some younger hot shots or whatever. But the premise still kind of remains. If you are really, really feeding them, they're not going to lay you off. I mean, and they may not have a legitimate reason to just fire you. But in Pennsylvania, this is an at-will state, which means that they can fire you just because. Now, that at-will thing is a little sketchy because in a way, they say that they can just let you go, but they really can't because you can still sue. La Sergia says working on the mines are like that. Vita B, what's good? How you feeling? Good to see me, some you. Without a doubt, it's always good to see you. It's always good to see you. That's what's up. Working in the mines. You work in a mine like a coal mine or a diamond mine or I'm just yeah. You know what I mean? Let me find out what we got. So, Vita, we talk about the title of the show is couldn't save his job to save his life. So we talking about people who you may have helped try to keep their job, but they wasn't trying to do the right thing. And like it could be your son. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when your kids get older, they graduate high school. Maybe they don't want to go to college. They decided that they're going to work and find themselves or, just live their lives. And they still living under your roof. And you like, well, listen, if you going to be living, if you're not going to school or nothing like that, I'm going to need you to contribute to the household in some kind of way. More than just your chores. You're going to have to pay something. You know what I mean? One of these bills is about to be yours. You can choose light bill, heating bill. You already pay for your phone, so we ain't doing that. We don't have a home phone no more. You ain't got to worry about that. But, like cable or something. You ain't just going to be sitting around here playing your PlayStation or your Xbox or whatever all day, smoking weed, drinking, having your friends over, fucking these little chicks, taking a chance on getting them pregnant. And here it is, you know what I mean? You ain't got a pot to piss in. No, we ain't doing that. So, yeah, this could be, it can be frustrating. It can be really frustrating when you realize that maybe you didn't do the best job with your kids that you've been running around here saying that you did. Like maybe you just spoiled them, but you didn't actually give them something towards life skills that would help them. Like you may have provided everything that they needed monetarily or material wise, but there could be a good chance that you didn't actually show them how to make it in this world. You didn't show them how to be responsible. You didn't show them how to be reliable, dependable. You didn't teach them how to save. You didn't teach them how to mitigate themselves. You may not have taught them even how to talk to anybody. One thing I've noticed about parents who don't know how to control their mouths have children who don't know how to control their mouths. It's pretty consistent. If you've ever seen it. Anybody in here, a teacher, even if you've only done substitute teaching, teachers will tell you when you have a child who's disruptive in class, always talking back, never wanting to be cooperative. Oftentimes, after they get suspended or the parents have to come up to the school to get their report cards and things like that, you'll normally see where they get their attitude from or where they get their tendencies from. Like, oh, okay. And it'll give you a pretty good understanding of how you should proceed going forward. Yeah. So sometimes we have to face the fact that maybe we could have done a little bit more for our children instead of just making sure that they had the newest Jordans. Sometimes it'd be like that. All right. La Sergia says, if you are at entry level jobs on mine sites, you are easily expendable. But as you work your way up the ladder, you get more rare. You get more rare, and your skills are more in demand. Okay, that sounds logical. All right, he says I was working in gold. Oh wow, that's dope. Ethan Darko says, Unc, back at it again. How do I get rid of this stream? So somebody made you write that? So this stream came up on your notifications, and I figured that it would only come up on your notifications if you subscribed, and I don't think you did that. But I know one thing, nobody made you click on it. You made that choice. And definitely nobody made you write anything. So I'm glad to see you here too. Can I remove it from my feed? You can do whatever you want to. I don't know who you are. Knock yourself out. And I mean that literally. Please, unconscious yourself. All right, Vita B says, I told my daughter graduation in 4 months, reality starts. All she thinking about is prom. Yo, Lasso just says she will find out, mate. Give up job trying to warn her. Wait, give up on trying to warn her about anything. Well, you gotta warn them. Vita B says, my daughter ran into her dad at Walmart 2 days ago. She 19. She hasn't seen him in 3 years. But I wear 2 hats and she see the effect. All right. So yeah, man, trying to make sure that your children have the life skills that they need is not always an easy thing. It can be very frustrating. It can be one of those things that take you down the line that just make you want to pull your hair out, even if you don't have no hair. Make you want to pull your scalp out. You still have a scalp even if you don't have hair. It's all good. How we doing on the poll? Let me see. On the poll, have you ever tried to help someone keep their job but they wouldn't listen and got fired anyway? 67% out of, let's see how many we only have 6 votes. 67% said yes. 33% said no. So that pretty much translates into 5 people said yes and 1 person said no. Yeah. Let me see. Ovita says, what is the call-in number? It's 267-874-1949. I'll write it for you. I got you. Wait, what the hell? What's up with this? Something ain't right. You know, I'm gonna just do it like this. This thing bugging. Okay. Okay. My keyboard was doing something real weird. All right, that's clean. There we go. What was that? It was like putting up some weird sick symbols or whatever. I don't know what that was. All right, anyway, yeah. Couldn't save their jobs to save their lives. Now, you could be talking about, dealing with parenting. Parenting is difficult. It is. Parenting is difficult. And, there are going to be times when you feel very triumphant when it comes to dealing with your children, raising your children. And then there are going to be times when you feel like a total failure, when you just feel like everything that you've done was all for naught, or it was just, children can just frustrate you to death. And you be wondering, like, what the hell have I been doing all of these years? Some parents really, really get frustrated to the point where they want to get violent or sometimes even send the kids away or whatever. But you have to be sure that people will, the cream always rises to the top. All right, I'm gonna take a caller.
You have a call from.
Okay, wait a minute. All right. Caller with the last number is 8723. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind this evening? What's good?
Hey, Omar, this is Vita.
What up, Vita? How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm feeling like a real woman should.
That's the only way to feel. That's exactly how you want to feel. Can't beat that.
Bet that. I caught you.
No doubt. It's good to hear your voice. What's up?
For sure. So I kind of caught in on the last tail end of it. Go ahead and give me a re-stand on topic.
Yeah, so we're talking about when, the title of this show is Couldn't Save Their Jobs to Save Their Lives. So we're talking about when you have tried to help somebody else keep their job, but they kept messing up and doing everything to lose their job, and then they eventually lost it. So, I don't know if you've ever tried to tell somebody to stop calling out all the time or they was going to get fired and they kept calling out, or tell them to, try to make it to work on time or they was going to lose their job and they kept being late, or tell somebody that to stop being so argumentative and combative at work. Like everything you don't have to express every emotion that you're feeling when you're at work. And they just felt like it was their, it was just they just felt like it was their right to do so. And they wound up getting fired.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, like, for real, the most experience that I've had on that aspect is actually, to be honest, I had two experiences. First one was being a 911 dispatcher. I've been a dispatcher for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to take your emotions out of all of that, like out of it completely. So I've had to be the person who sits beside somebody and be like, you know what? You're going to lose your job if you keep getting emotional. Like, and it's sad because now I brought this into my personal life.
Yeah.
So I always try to keep my work life and personal life separate.
Mm-hmm.
But when I bring it home, I'm a single mom. I got two girls, 25 and 19. My 19-year-old, born in 2005, she's more emotional than I ain't never seen nobody before. So I tell her, I said, listen, when you're in the real world and you start working, you got to separate your emotions from everything. Otherwise, woo, yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna get dealt with. So I have been a salesperson, and I don't know. I think Comcast rules over everybody, but I was with Comcast about 4 or 5 years too. Comcast and JS,
Mm.
well, being a dispatcher was my two main jobs where I would say I had to actually tail in on people and be like, if you don't just put your personal emotions aside, this ain't gonna work for you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can't do this. Like, cause for one, if you're a salesperson, you cannot put your pocket in anybody else's pocket. What you think you can afford, like, you can't say, okay, they can't afford it.
Yeah.
You don't know that. You don't know they can afford that. So if they want to get the whole shebang, let them get it.
Mhm.
I actually personally like being a salesperson, but I wouldn't be a car salesman. I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But on a standpoint of just being on the, on topic of, yeah, I feel you on what you're saying. I don't think that people don't understand the tail point of what it is to lose something and then get it back.
I knew this woman that got a job with the post office as a mail carrier. Now, being a mail person is a good job.
Did that too.
So I'm like, but she didn't really like the job. I'm like, well, they don't just let anybody be a mailman. You know what I'm saying? So she was doing it, and mailmen, they ain't going to get rich, but it's a good job. You know what I mean? Excellent benefits. People, it's a federal job. Somebody punch you in the face or sick their dog on you, they gonna get locked up and all that kind of stuff. It's a good job. So
right.
I think what she didn't like about the job was, I don't think she liked doing all that walking. Honestly, I think that was the problem. She just wasn't. She wasn't in shape.
It ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what people got to realize. They got to stay in their lane. And that's where, if you a worker, first of all, if you a worker, you got to understand what it is to be a worker. My daughter is 19. She don't know what it's like to be a worker yet.
Mm.
She don't know if it's fast food, whether it's being in a nursing home, helping somebody. I saw that damn video about a girl twerking on somebody in a damn nursing home. That was stupid.
Mm.
But if you're working to help somebody, I'm all about helping somebody. And when you doing an act of service, and I think you're in the medical field, right?
Who, me?
Yeah, you're in the medical
sort of
field,
in the
right?
health field, in a way.
In the health field?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it takes a certain type of person to be able to help somebody. So whatever it is that you're doing, you got to understand that customer service go into it.
Absolutely.
And if you're not a people person, best and believe it ain't gonna work. It just ain't gonna work. If you can't take authority, having somebody tell you you're doing something wrong,
yeah.
You need to fix this or fix that, or you're doing something wrong. Like, I just got told something yesterday that I did something wrong at work. And I think I told you before, I work for the IRS. Like, listen, that shit hurt. Like, you don't even want to know, Omar. It's been a minute since we talked. Trump has been doing some extra shit. and it's, I'm telling you, it's affecting me. And I'm telling you, like, that's why I haven't been on, because, like, I work part-time. I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but I work 11:30 until 8:30. And then when I get off, I am very busy. I'm still busy. And then it's like, I heard this shit yesterday, what they told me about what Trump is doing. they're telling us, this is what they're telling us.
Mm-hmm.
For the people who do IRS work, you can you can stop working. Like you could take a resign. You can resign, and you can keep your job until September, but you're done after that.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I don't have to work no more. I don't have to work. But if I take that, I'm done. I don't have no job. Why would I do that?
Mm-hmm.
But what he's doing is he's trying to cut the costs. He don't want no more. He don't want certain costs in the government field. But anyway, that's the side point. The point is that people who have jobs who help people is it's you got to understand what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard what you do before, and I really appreciate what you do. Don't think I don't be listening. I be listening to you.
Okay,
I just
that's
don't get
what's
to
up.
comment and talking every time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm up tonight, so
That's what's up.
I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, and
Mhm.
it's almost 3:00 in the morning.
Sure it
I'm
is.
up.
Mm-hmm. We on the same time.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But I feel you. Like it's been a hot mess over here.
Well, yeah, because you know, when you as you get older, you grow your family, whatever, you're gonna start to accumulate stuff, material items, and you're gonna accumulate things that you have to pay for. So you start to realize how important having a income is. But some people are just so flighty, they're just so loose, they just so irresponsible that they don't really seem to understand for some reason that you need to be more responsible. You got to have a job. You have to have a steady income. You have to seek out some stability. And we ain't getting no younger. You know what I'm saying? Like, and these may be full-fledged adults. Now, I expect some people in their 20s and maybe sometimes even your 30s that might still be out here scrambling, bullshitting, and not really thinking about what tomorrow is going to bring. But as you really start to get older, in like your older 30s, and definitely into your 40s, the excuses gotta go. You gotta get your ass up and get your ass in gear. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
it's just real talk. Like, I'm gonna share a story with you real quick.
mm-hmm.
My homegirl in Louisiana. I'm in Florida, but we grew up together in Kansas. I'm originally from Kansas now, but I'm in Florida. But I've been here 20 plus years. So she told me that she's pregnant, and she's 42. And we thick as thieves, and it rubbed me the wrong way. I'm really heartbroken for her right now because she got an 8-year-old and she got a 15-year-old, and she's starting over.
Mm-hmm.
And then she texted me yesterday, and she told me that dude that she's only known less than a year asked her to marry her. So I was like, okay, he asked you to marry her. So, okay, y'all gonna get married, boom. But dude, I got the background, he got 6 kids. So you number 7. So now I'm feeling for her. Like, this is my homegirl. I love her to death. She's like a sister to me. And I feel for her. You 42. I'm 43.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, what you doing? What the fuck is you doing? Like, I'm trying to be supportive, and I'm understanding. I get all of that, but at the end of the day, me in 2025, we grown, and when I had my daughter, I was 25, and I had my tooth tied, and I was responsible about it because I realized that if I'm not married, and I don't really honestly, to be honest, completely honest, I feel like it's just some kind of I don't know how I really feel about marriage, but to be honest, I don't see myself being married. I feel like it's not nothing that's really necessary. I feel like it's something that you don't need to do. I really don't. My mom and dad married was 10 years. And when they got divorced, I was probably like 11 or 12, but I know my dad. And I feel like at the end of the day, as we stand today, we 10 toes down. We on our own.
Mhm.
As you get older, your parents are going to perish. And I told my daughter that today. I was like, listen, I ain't gonna be here forever. It's up to you to decide what you gonna do with your life and do what you gonna do. Because at the end of the day, I ain't gonna be here forever. But she seems to think I'm gonna be here forever. So when you think that you take things for granted, I lost my mom when I was 32, and I'm 43 now, and I miss her to death. That was my left, my right, my backbone, left all the way around. So today, the way it stands is, I feel like we really, as a people, got to be really prepared for whatever's to come. Your kids is going to grow. They're going to get older. But when I see my daughter now, to be honest, Omar, she's 25. I don't see her. I don't even see either one of my kids having kids. If they have kids, man, I wish y'all luck. I ain't no grandma, but I wish y'all luck. Because if you have kids now, it's hard, man. Like, it's hard out here. Like, it's hard. Like,
listen,
if you don't have family, if you don't have support, if you don't have what you need around you, you're going to be sitting around here looking like, what? I don't even listen to the news no more. I listen to you. I listen to Willie Williams. What's his name? Not even Carlos King no more. I listen to probably 3 or 4 channels. I don't even get on Facebook no more. That's why I heard when you said certain people follow you on Facebook. I listen to your videos, but I don't get to comment on all of them because I'm so busy. But I was like, I don't even be on Facebook like that. Like, I got my Instagram up, I got my Facebook up, but I don't even be on them no more because it's just, I don't know. Like, I commend you for what you do. You be up here every night, and I listen to your videos, but I don't get to comment on all of them. But this is me to everybody listening. You are very real, and I be sharing your video with anybody that I be listening to too.
I appreciate that.
They be like, "Oh, he be talking some real shit." I be like, "Yeah, he do. This is what we listening to." But I don't always get to comment. But I appreciate you, Omar. I want you to know that, and this is just recognition to what you do.
Well, you know, you've been down for years, so I know what it is. But let me ask you this.
At least a year or two. At least a year or two.
It's been longer. It's been longer than that. At
least a year or two.
He was here since at least 2022. So.
I wish, like, when I was like, where's Philly? You were Philly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was like, okay, where's Philly at? So I was like, is Philly, okay, Philly, I was like, Philly, Philadelphia. I'm like, man, like, I messed with one guy from Philly, and I really miss him to death. Like, he was my heart in high school, but he passed away.
Oh,
he
man.
rekindled, but he passed away. And I was like, man, something about Philly. I don't know what it is, but y'all Philly, y'all be keeping 100 and $150.
Man, we ain't for the week.
I don't care what you say or what you do or what topic you on. But you be keeping it $150, and I might miss you a day, I might miss you a week, but I'll be catching up. I listen to most of your videos. I just want you to know that.
No, I appreciate it.
For real, from the heart. I'm not the one that always be on the that call in. I've called in probably twice, 2 or 3 times, but I want you to know I be listening to you.
No, I appreciate that. I know you always keep up, you know what I mean? Because I know sometimes you'll comment on the videos and all that. But and it's cool. I mean, look, once you locked in, you locked in. You know what I'm saying?
Have you been to Florida?
I've been to Florida a couple of times. Yeah.
Jacksonville, Florida? Like what part?
No, not Jacksonville. I've been to Miami, and I've been to like the Pensacola area.
Oh, okay. Over there where the water at.
Yeah, my brother used to live down there.
Yeah. Come up northeast.
Yeah.
Well,
I know.
Northeast
I know
Florida,
where.
they different breed.
Yeah, so I hear. So I hear.
But I'm for real. I'm a Kansas girl, like Northeast, like I'm a Kansas girl, Kansas City Chiefs, Kansas City, Manhattan, Kansas, all of that. But for real, back on topic anyway. Yeah, I definitely feel where you coming from with that, and that's why I had to call in and just let you know where my perspective was with that.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you this. So, so trying to help somebody keep their job can be very, very time consuming, and it can be emotionally draining. You know what I mean? It can be very, very emotionally draining. So when you're close to somebody and you're trying to help them basically grow up or start to act like an adult, and they're not really acting like they catching on, and they're not really acting like they really want to do any better for themselves, it can really, really get under your skin, because it's hard enough just trying to keep your own job, trying to stay in good standing with your own job. You know what I mean? Because like it or not, every 30 days, those bills are coming around and they want to get paid. They got to get paid. You know what I'm saying? So when you witness somebody out there just acting like they don't really care about it, or like things are going to magically fall in place or something like that, like they got a magic wand, you looking like, what the hell is going on with you? Now, you can be at work trying to help somebody at work keep their job, and they might be hell bent on, I don't know why people can't just come to work and go home. I don't know why people can't do it. But some people just can't do it. It's like they got a mental block. They always Have you ever worked with anybody? Have you ever worked with somebody that always has to kind of be combative? Like they always got to have an enemy at work. Like somebody they got to have a bad guy, like an arch enemy at work or something. You're like, what is that about? What is that about, for real?
And I might be putting my foot in my mouth when I say this, because I share this with I share your videos with someone that I've been with for a little while now. But if he hear this, oh well. When he does things that when he go to work and he come home and I say, man, listen, you doing too much. For me, I feel like leave work at work and home at home. I can't deal with it's okay to talk about work a little bit when you come home. It's cool. But then when you take it to the extreme of, you sabotaging yourself, you talking about things that don't exist, and it just seems like you're paranoid. It seems like you're talking about things that you're trying to talk into an existence, like it's going to happen. I am very much a positive person, but if you think that it's going to happen, it just might happen. I don't know whether it's bad or good, but hell, if you keep talking about it, that shit might happen. Stop talking about what the hell you got going on at work so much and bringing it home. When you get off the clock, you off the damn clock. Damn it. Like, damn it, man. Like, what the hell? Like, you talking about shit that don't even happen yet. Like, okay, you might get a raise, but it ain't happened yet. It's not for a couple of months. And you thinking, like, I hope they pick me. Damn it, man. Say they gonna pick you. Leave that shit alone. They gonna pick you. Like, I can't stand that shit. Like, it irks my nerves. I can't stand. I hope he don't listen to this, but I don't like being with someone who constantly brings work home. I don't like that. I hate that. I don't like when someone brings work home. I think that work should be work and home should be home. If you got shit going on and you think that it might need to be addressed, address it and leave the hell alone. Let's say 30 minutes. 30 minutes tops, and then let's the rest of the day play out. But if it gotta carry on for an hour or two, damn it, man, shit. Like what? This I feel like, okay, if you a workaholic, then I don't really feel like you really got time for me. Not necessarily say you got time for me, but I think that your focus is off. Like you gotta balance it. Like with someone that is so much a workaholic, they ain't used to work. They ain't used to it. So if you used to work, I've been working 25 plus years. I've been working probably since I was 15, 16, maybe 14, cleaning houses with my mama when it wasn't even really no job title.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't getting paid for the shit. I was just actually going to attend. And then when I actually started getting paid and understanding what a tax return was and what a refund was, and now that you know, my hours count for something when I'm with someone or counting with people that actually care, my family or whatever, that time matters. Stop talking about what the fuck you got going on at work.
Mm-hmm. Well,
That is irritating.
Have you ever dealt with a man that couldn't keep a job?
Yes. Absolutely. When I say absolutely, 100, and then this is no shade to the North, but a while back I told y'all I dealt with a dude from Brooklyn, and when he came to Florida, he could not keep a job because he was used to scamming. He was the type of person when he came to Florida, he did not know what it was like to have a real job. And that shit hurt my nerves.
Yeah,
all he knew how to do, because he was from Brooklyn, and I ain't gonna put no stigma or nobody from New York or Brooklyn or nobody from the North, but I will say this. I dealt with him for 7, 8 plus years. This man could talk anybody out of anything, but couldn't keep a real job, a W-2, a real job. Like he knew what it was like to go to the store, return some shit, go buy it, return it, get the receipt for it, all of that. Go sell a gift card with nothing on it. He knew how to do all of that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk about somebody that don't know how to do real work and then lose it, keep it, then actually build something, it's not like I never experienced nothing like that in my life. But anyway, I say all that to say yes, I have been there.
Okay, so
it is hard.
So yeah, I'm thinking. So when you finally figure like, oh, this dude or this chick don't like the work, like what's your next move after that? Because I'm thinking like
you got two options. You got two options. You got two options. Only two with me. I don't know about everybody else, but me. Two. You got two. The only other option you got is to get your shit together, or two, move on. You can do what you want to do without me, or you want to do what you need to do with me. That's it. Because when I experienced what I went through with someone who did not know what a real job was and working, to be honest, if you ain't never worked for somebody, you don't know what the fuck we talking about. And that's just all the listeners that are listening on your channel. If you hustling, you hustling. I respect your hustle. Do what you do.
Wait a minute, hold on.
If you ain't never clocked in,
wait, hold on.
If you ain't never clocked in,
wait a minute, hold on, Vita. Hold on, Vita. Hold on a second.
You have a call from
Gavin.
Okay. Hold on. I'm going to click you in. Hold on a second, my dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on a second. Hold on. All right. Caller with the last number 6867. We're all on the line now. So Davita, you're here, and I guess Devin. That's your name?
Gavin.
Oh, Gavin. Okay. right, what's good,
Hey,
man?
Kevin.
Oh, hey, what's up, Charlie?
Hey,
Ma'am?
you go ahead. I've been talking enough. You go right ahead.
I got some questions. I've been listening to you. You sound almost reasonable, but I can't at the end. You sound almost reasonable. I was cussing you off for a second, and I was
Yeah,
like,
I saw you erase your
Cussing
comment.
me out.
Look,
No, don't be cussing me out.
No.
Please don't be cussing me out.
first he erased his
you
comment.
walk
That's a
into a
good thing.
conversation and you're like, what is it? Like, what is it? But it's more like you started making sense after you started talking.
All right, well, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Go ahead. Speak your piece.
But my question, like with the topic of helping people with a job, right?
No, helping them keep their
Helping
job,
them
not
keep a
necessarily
job,
get their
yeah.
job. Yeah.
But I think in relationships that comes down to the rent. Because if the person who ain't paying the rent doesn't need to keep a job, then I think that's fine.
You think that's what?
I think that's all right.
All right. Now, if it's a living situation, then you're probably going half on the rent or whatever the percentage might be. It might not be 50-50, but it might be 30-70 or whatever. Bottom line is there's rarely a situation where a couple is living together in an apartment where only one person is paying the entire rent. So you need both incomes in order to live there, more than likely. Because one thing about
I think that's a general scenario, but here's what I'm advocating for, right? Not disagreeing, just advocating, right?
Okay. All right.
I think like one, plenty of women make plenty of money, right? And you deciding if you want to get with this woman shouldn't have anything to do with. That shouldn't really be your conversation, right? So, in a situation where two people are working together, I think that the objection is not necessarily, the objection that you're stating is right. It's not a question of keeping a job, it's the question of what kind of discipline does this person have? Because discipline is going to show up in any relationship.
I agree with that.
You know? Yeah, like when Shorty was saying, like, the dude in Miami, he know how to get money. If he would have moved from Miami to wherever and was still getting money, it wouldn't have been an issue. The problem was he was in an environment where whatever skills that he acquired in one place did not transfer to another place. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But fundamentally, if he was still paying the rent, this wouldn't even be a conversation. So I think the question in terms of that I had was what happened where, like, if you got the willingness to be like, hey man, I'm gonna go to this store, rob this store, come back and return the same shit that I just robbed. There's no lack of you can't say the man ain't got gusto. So what was kind of happening there where like the person fell apart, or did the person misrepresent themselves?
Well, look, let's stay focused. This show is about the frustration of helping somebody keep their job. Like they're doing everything to lose their job, and you doing everything to try to get them to keep their job. That's what we're talking about.
Lose their job, bro. They're gonna lose their job.
Well, all right.
They're gonna lose their job.
Well, speak on that. You know what I'm saying? Like because that's what we're talking about tonight.
You can't stop that shit if you don't understand. Like Con Edison is a real thing. Fucking Verizon is a real thing. These aren't figments of your capitalist imagination. Like,
Okay.
If you don't understand, like these people want their money regardless.
Well, a lot of people understand. A lot of people. But here's the thing: a lot of people understand that you need money, but they don't understand why they need a job. They don't understand. They don't
to get money.
Listen to what I'm saying. They don't understand responsibility. There are a lot of people who do not understand what being responsible means, especially on a consistent basis. Like, it's easy to take for granted being to work on time and being to work every day A lot of people take that for granted. But when you're dealing with somebody who really does not understand how important that is or doesn't give a shit about it, it'll change your whole life around. Because they are missing the very basics of what it takes in order to get a job and keep a job. And here it is, you may adore that person, romantically, but you realize, like, yo, they got bum tendencies.
Omar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Vita.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you an example real quick about my life. When I took advantage of just going to work and definitely being there on time back in 2004. And I thought it was sweet to go there when I felt like it. They let my ass go about 2 years later. This was Bank of America. And I was like, oh, shit. I thought I had my stuff together, and it was like nobody was behind me telling me, get your shit together. Keep coming to work. Just do what you need to do. Just do it. Stop. Just do this. Just do that. Nobody was in my ear telling me to do that. But I'm behind other people telling them to do that now, because I feel like now that I'm older and I realize what's important. Back then, I've had so many good jobs that I took that shit for granted. So now I realize you just gotta buckle down and just understand what you're doing and be there on time. Have a job when you got benefits, especially the damn benefits. My daughter was in fast food for 7 years. 5. She was in fast food for 5 years after high school. Now that she got a real big girl job working for Citibank, she like, oh, mama, I ain't going back to no damn fast food. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Okay. Now you understand what having a job is.
Yeah.
So I don't have to say too much.
A lot of teenagers get it, but if you don't get it as a teenager, you ain't going to get it as an adult. It has to, right. Everything has to start at some point. So if you got a bad foundation, and I'm not saying that just because you haven't grown up with something that you can't get it from somebody later on, if they're influential to you, but it's going to make it a lot harder when if you've dealt with parents that did nothing but hustle. They didn't ever like really work or whatever. And it's cool if they was getting money like that, but there's a certain mentality that's attached to it. And when you don't work a 9-to-5 job, you really don't believe that you have to answer to anybody. You don't really think that you have to do anything that you don't want to do. And it may make you speak in that way. And it's going to make it harder for you to get along with people. And you don't even really realize why people are turned off by you, because you don't understand how things work. Understanding how things.
Omar, son, you don't think that I think that both of what y'all saying could be true, and I will offer this one, right? I think when it comes to, like, instead of having a job in terms of getting money, it's very rare that people get money and can budget money and can invest money. That's the issue that we're really discussing, because if you can get money and make sure that the money you got at the beginning of the month is at the end of the month, you don't need to go punch no clock. But if you get money like it's quick and then you spend it quick, so it's not. I think of course there's a value in going to work every day. I go to work every day.
Whether you work a 9-to-5 job, or if you run your own business, or if you hustle, you still have to have the interpersonal skills in order to keep your clientele coming in. So whether you punch a clock, or whether you oh shit, what the fuck? What happened? I think I lost my peoples. They go bye-bye. How'd that happen? Hold on, y'all. We gonna get it back. We're gonna get it back. I don't know what happened, but let me try this. Damn. All right. Luckily, I can dial out.
Hello?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think it dropped on my side.
Oh, it's all good, man.
Okay.
Technology.
Okay, but this is what I was saying. Even if it doesn't matter whether you punch a clock. It doesn't matter whether you work on salary. It doesn't matter whether you run your own business. If you are the type of person that always is that feels like you have to have your way all the time, you never want to compromise, and you don't have structure.
Well,
If
but
you
son, that's a
hold on,
That is a user mentality. Because at the base of that mentality is, I can fuck up and someone is going to save me.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is you may not be the type of person that's depending on somebody else to take care of you, but you may not have what it takes in order to be consistent in keeping people close to you or patronizing you, because you may do some shit. Let me give you an example. When I had hair, I used to go to this barbershop. And I used to tell the barber how I wanted my hair cut. He insisted on cutting it the way he wanted it to look. So I kept telling him that I want my hair cut this way. He was cutting my hair so other people would see how he was cutting it so he could get more customers. So I was like a bulletin board or a billboard for him. And I wasn't feeling that. You know what I mean? So how many times do you think I kept going to him after he kept not cutting my hair the way I asked him to cut it?
About 2 times.
Yeah, you know, you're actually right. So once I realized that he was being hold on, Vita, I need you to call back in because the call got dropped, and so yeah, if you can call back in, I appreciate it. Yeah. So he didn't want to listen to I'm his customer. You understand what I mean? He didn't want to he wanted to do things his way instead of the way that he was requested. So of course he lost me as a client. I'm not here to be advertising for you. If it's like that, then you pay me in order to cut my hair. Since you're trying to get other customers off of my hair, off the way you cut my hair, we can cut a deal that way. Other than that, cut it the way I told you to cut it. And he knew that he knew that he wasn't cutting my hair right on purpose. Now I'm getting ready. I'm honestly, had I not known the bull, I was ready to knock him the fuck out. Like, yo, you know, you don't play around with people, you know, that's paying you money for their grooming. You know what I mean? That's a dangerous game. I could like the barbershop. Come on, man. Listen, I was about to world star this motherfucker. I don't play that shit. I don't play that. Yo, I honestly, you know, and this is when I was in my 20s. I was ready to sleeping. For real. Because I was a mad hothead. I was a hothead. Well, that's grab a hand and run. That's exactly what I did. But the bottom line is he lost other people too. You understand what I mean? Because
I think you're completely right. But here's something, like, as you're talking, I'm thinking about. When we were kids, there were some kids in the back peeling off the radiator and eating the chips and couldn't color in the lines. These people grew up, and they're out here among us. And we just have to accept that, and we cannot expect of ourselves what we expect of other people. And I think you can meet them there and you can advocate for them and you can try to instruct them. But if you explain to somebody something that is beyond their understanding, there's nothing you can do.
Anybody
It's like you're trying to teach calculus to a didgeridoo. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Anybody can learn. Anybody can learn, but not everybody.
Everybody can learn,
but not everybody
can go to fucking space. I disagree with the idea that anybody can learn.
You disagree with anybody can learn. What are you disagreeing with?
Fundamentally with that idea.
Hold on a second. Hold on a minute.
You have a call from.
All right, we good. All right, Davida, you back. Now, Gavin.
All right, my bad. I got disconnected. I'm listening.
All right, Gavin, you said you disagree that anybody can learn?
Yes. You really think that all somebody needs is a support network and resources and they can all become astrophysicists?
No.
Okay, then everybody can't learn.
No, because you're skipping the steps. Of course, you can't teach calculus to somebody who never learned who hasn't mastered addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. But anyone who has mastered multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction can always move up to calculus. So, no, it's a fact. The reason people can't do algebra is because they never mastered addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division.
No, but what I'm saying is, if we can agree on that, right? What I'm saying
but that's what I'm see. No. You can't. You can't
understand is a fundamental concept.
Teaching somebody how to showing somebody how to keep a job is not a hard thing. It's their resistance that's keeping them from doing it. It doesn't have anything to do with
what Shorty was saying about.
But you can't say, listen, you can't say that's not about what. That's not about. No, this is not about. I say that anybody can learn, and anybody can. It doesn't mean that you can skip all of these steps and magically get all the way to the top. You got to fill in the middle. I'm not saying that anybody can be microwaved. You start from a place and then you end in a place. But telling somebody, listen, just go to work, do your job. You've already learned how to do the job. It's not hard for you, but keep your mouth shut. Come home, get your money, come home, wash, rinse, and repeat. That's not a hard learning curve. You're not giving anybody anything hard to learn.
Omar, can I chime in on something?
Definitely. Hold on. Let
discipline. That is a discipline question, not an education question. Like, if I could teach
I'm gonna chime in
I'm
on
gonna tell you.
Go ahead, Vita.
You need to do this for 50 days in order to be successful, and you give up on day 2 or day 49. It's a question of discipline.
What does that have to do with their learning?
So maybe they do understand what you're saying, but they don't have the discipline to carry it out.
Maybe they just have resistance. It doesn't have anything to do with discipline. Discipline is developed. Wait a minute. Discipline is developed with repetition.
Yes.
When you do
Can I
things.
say something?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna take this back to very much like what you're saying, Omar, but very old school, very, very old school. We all grown. So I'm 43. And I'm gonna tell you something. I learned my discipline from not being let go, from not being fired, from all of this, all of that. My brother, I looked at his work ethics. My dad, I looked at his work ethics as I was growing up. And I was probably a young girl, and I saw how they went to work, how they grind, how they went to work, how they did their thing, how they did whatever it is, how they did what they did. But this is what teaches you as a young person how to go to work and not be complacent and let go and be fired and all of that, and then just be discouraged or whatever. I actually looked up to 2 people in my life, and that was my brother, who is in Texas, and I have not seen my brother since 2013, and I still look up to my brother because he is a hard worker. He still works for himself, and he taught me as a young, we're 10 years apart, and I saw myself looking up to him as like, okay, well, all I need to do is just go to work. This is what I need to do. Even if work is just work to people, all it does is set the foundation to where you want to go. Because even if you're an entrepreneur, you want to work for yourself, you want to start your own business, boom. Okay. I've actually had a lot of businesses in my mind. I did t-shirts and I did food and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, I still work for somebody else, as we all do. A lot of us do.
That's a fact.
Right. As we all do. We still work for a lot of other people. But we have a lot of things that we have a talent. God gave us all a talent. And it's up to you to actually execute that talent. Whether you're working for somebody else while you're executing that talent or just executing that talent, period. I looked up to my brother growing up as a young lady and now an adult. And I look at that and I was like, damn, okay, so this is the model that set the foundation to what I need to do. Because I could have been out here as these influencers or whatever. I don't get into that shit. I don't like Instagram, influencers, whatever y'all want to call that shit. I don't like it because it's an unrealistic expectation about what society is.
I agree with what
you got to work.
I agree with what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying.
Right.
And I think the last thing you said was the most profound thing you said. Right? Is you have to work. Like, I don't give a fuck what you do when you get up in the morning, but it got to be something. Right? I don't like in terms of like that's why like I was kind of giving a little pushback to the 9 to 5 versus this versus that. Like I don't give a fuck what a motherfucker like. I've had people like for example like I've had people like stay in my house like they're having a hard time, right? Yo, I mean,
be careful with that.
I know. I mean, so good so far. I mean, there've been some conversations, but nothing dangerous. But anyway. If a motherfucker was to look at me and be like, yo, Gav, this, that, and the third happened, I just need to kind of build back and, you know, kind of get my shit together, man, I need a favor. I'm the type of person to be like, I bet, right? We sit around for 2 days getting drunk, you tell the story, you cry it out, whatever the fuck you gotta go through, right? But on that third day, you wake up before me, and you come home after I'm asleep, right? There's no version of life where you're going to tell me that you ain't got a job, but you ain't doing something. You know what I'm saying?
The problem is that y'all wake up drunk. The problem is that y'all wake up drunk. You can't support that habit. Because I did that shit. I did that. I had a girl that stayed with me, and you got to be careful with that though. For real. If you supporting a friend that's going to try and better themselves, you got to be careful with that.
I know. I felt for that too, but like I said, I felt for that in COVID. I had a motherfucker homeless in COVID that needed a place to crash it next to, you know.
I don't care.
Drinking vodka at 2:30 in the afternoon.
I don't care. No, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is where you got to get, like, this is where I learned. And this is hard. This is a hard revelation. And it's self-preservation.
Wow.
And this was the shit that actually sit real with me is self-preservation. And my dad taught me this shit recently. And my dad is 61. When he told me don't call him when I got problems and stress that's bothering him, I said, fuck, damn, I'm your child. I'm your daughter. Like, listen, you are a whole grown man, but my dad is 61, and he told me don't call him with my problems, my stress, and that bothers him. I said, damn, self-preservation. And I get that now. So you got to put yourself first. Don't put other people in your shit, and you gotta live, and you gotta work. But you helping other people succeed to get where they need to be, you telling them to work, go to work, be successful, do what you got to do, get up, go catch the bus, whatever. I know how to catch the bus. If my car broke down today or tomorrow, I know how to catch the bus.
I got you. But this is where we go back and forth with whether or not I understand what you're saying. Because the idea of the show is, should you spend the time to try to get somebody into a direction?
No, that's not what the show is about. The show is about when you have actually done this, when you have actually tried to help somebody. We're not asking if you should. We're talking about, have you actually tried to help somebody keep their job and failed at it? That's what we're not asking if you should do it. We're talking about when you have actually done it, and I'm looking for you to tell me about your experiences with it. I'm not asking it. I'm not. This is not for people who haven't done
it. I understand. But sometimes it's like you meet folks and it's like they got problems. Like I do a lot of construction, you know what I mean? So you might meet folks with problems, and then like when the problems come up, you're sort of like, hey, this is a problem, and you know we cannot run a site like this, you know?
Yeah.
And then sometimes you have to just kind of let them know that we cannot run the site like this.
Let me ask you this.
I lost my best friend 2 years ago because of that shit right there. She stayed in my house for a whole month. I lost my best friend of 7 years because I tried to help her. And it hurts me to this day because her kids grew up with my kids. And it makes me want to choke up because I loved her. We grew. It really does. It bothers me to this day. I love Keisha, and I told a story about her on your show, Omar, a while back. But I'm gonna tell you about the fair. It was about the fair situation where she spent too much money. But I'm gonna tell you, she came to my house. She stayed with me, and I tried to help her, and I couldn't do it no more. She's not the one to do it. You had to go. She had to go. I tried to help her. And if you're not going to do what you need to do for yourself, you've got to go. I'm not the one. And I love your kids. The kids ain't got nothing to do with it. But I'm going to tell you like this right here. You're grown. I'm grown. And I done did what I had to do. And I did my part. I showed you the task. Even though, like I say, I'm not that much older, where you can only do so much for people. That's it. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Self-preservation.
I'm with you, sis. But isn't it crazy how they're going to complain when you can't help them anymore, but then they forgot that you helped them in the first place?
Right. Because I haven't heard from her in 2 years now. Because that was probably almost 2 years ago. But it's all good. Because in my heart, I know that I did what I had to do.
But when he tell the story, she ain't never going to tell the part about when you took her in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But that teaches you a lesson. That teaches you a lesson as an adult, as a grown person. That teaches you as a lesson not to do that for nobody else. Because everybody is not going to receive what you can give them.
Facts.
If you can give them gems, if you can give them certain things, like my brother would teach me things from Texas, and I could take that and I can apply it to my life, he will still deal with me. But if I can't apply it to my life, he's not going to deal with me.
Yeah.
And it's the same sense. If someone is in your life, and they're in your city, in your corner, in your county, if they're not applying it to their life, you got to cut them off. Cut it. You can't deal with them because they're not applying that, what you're telling them, what you're doing, what you're showing, what you're replicating, what you're doing, they're not implementing it in their life. You got to cut it, period, to the T. And I don't have no problem if someone in my life feel like I have not implemented something in my life and they cut me off, I got to accept that because maybe I'm not living up to their standards. And that's my problem. I have always been my worst critic. I am my hardest critic. So if my brother or if my uncle, there's 3 or 4 people that I look up into my life that tell me if they have showed me something, how to work, how to grind, how to get it, and I'm not doing it, and they cut me off and they're not talking to me, fine. I'm going to still keep doing what I'm doing. And if it's still not working for you, oh well, I'm going to still keep doing what I'm doing. But there's certain people that are toxic that you got to cut off.
Yes, but I think that even if sometimes in the cutting off process, kind of like even with something like keeping a job, sometimes advice don't hit people until later. You know?
Well,
Yeah, like I told my girls,
nonetheless,
my girls are 19 and 25 years old. I told them, like my mama told me, you're not going to miss me until I'm gone. And my daughter don't like to hear that. And I tell her it's a fact. Because my mom used to tell me that all the time. You ain't going to miss me until I'm gone. And I'm going to tell you that for a fact. It's a fact.
So even
you don't understand what it's like until you're done. You're gone. You don't have the person or people around you that inspire you and tell you to do better.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it.
Well, let me.
What you're saying.
Hold on. Let me ask y'all this. Let me hold on. Slow down. Whoa. Let me ask you this. Have either of you ever tried to get somebody a job at your job and they came and you got them the job and they fucked up at your job?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. That was Keisha.
Listen, Gavin. Wait. Hiring people that fuck up on your job is different from when you are not the boss at your job and you go through the steps of using your influence to get them a job.
This motherfucker gonna call me with a sad story about the kids, and I'm like,
like I said, it's different. Listen, it's different hiring people than getting somebody that you're not hiring a job. It's different.
Get somebody put on.
Yeah, that's what I asked you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Omar, like for me, Keisha, the same person from the fair, the same person like I just told the story about. I put her on to a job that was very close to me. I didn't work there, but I lived in my area 10 years, and these people in this area know me very well. So it's about a store, and I put her on. I promise you, she went, filled out the application and everything, and then the manager was like, so what happened to Keisha? She didn't show up today. Like she was supposed to come in for the first day or whatever. And I'm like, well, what happened to her? He said, well, she said her grandmama was sick. Her grandmama? She ain't got no damn grandmama here. What? Like you put yourself on the line for somebody and they just like make you look bad.
Well,
like I set her up for a job and she didn't show up.
I think what Son is talking about, like in terms of putting somebody on, right? So basically, you're now, like, the company likes you, right? So the company, for you to put somebody on, the person doing the hiring got to be like, okay, I like this guy. I want more of this guy. And the easiest way to
pretty
find
much,
more of
yeah, you use it. You're right.
Yeah, I'm not doing that for nobody but my child.
Okay.
I understand, but I'm saying, though, but, you know, like, people got people. You know, there's always a cousin that needs a job, a nephew or something.
I don't care. Not me.
Understood. But what I'm saying is, I think the main conflict comes in why you would actually advocate for a person to act right is I done put my name on the line for you to get this job.
They gotta have the same work ethics. They got period. They gotta have the same work ethics as I do. I get up and I go to work every day. If you put your name on the line for somebody at your job, and you put in a referral, damn the incentive. I don't care about the incentive. My name is on the line. So if I tell my boss, okay, I refer you to come to my job because, you can work with me. I got one girl right now, two sisters are working together. Two sisters. And they do the same job. We all do the same job.
I think what Omar is saying is that's when the plot thickens. The plot thickens because now the motherfucker is here doing a bad job and you done brought this motherfucker all the way down here to do a bad job.
Exactly. Because they're going to be looking at you like, well, we only hired them because you referred them. You know what I mean? On the strength of you, we hired them. So,
family, friends, even if you just friends, it's almost like you family.
Yeah.
No, but the problem that Son is saying is, okay, let's say this guy fucks up. It's not just as simple as he fucks up. If somebody else comes along that's worthy, it's gonna be a little bit of a harder sell because this motherfucker did some asshole shit. That's also the thing because things keep
All right.
going. Like,
Let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all both a story, and then I gotta let y'all go. Check this out. One time, I got I worked for the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia. So I got a job there, and they asked me. They liked what I was doing, and they asked me if I could, if I had some other friends who needed jobs, and they would hire them. So I got these.
Omar got no felony.
Listen, man. Don't chill. So I had two friends. I got them jobs. They both needed jobs at the time. I got them. One of the dudes was cool. The other one came in and immediately started stealing time. Immediately. I was like, oh, what the fuck have I done? And eventually he wound up losing the job. I kept telling him, listen, man, stop doing this, stop doing that, because you're going to mess around and get caught, and then, you know, you're going to cause trouble for yourself, and you're going to get fired. His position was, and you know, we was young at the time. So I was like 20, and he was like 21, maybe 21, 22, whatever. So his position was like, well, you know, I mean, you know, you got me the job, but now it's all on me. So it ain't going to be no reflection on you. If I mess up, I was like, had I known that he was going to act like that, I would have never got him the job. You know what I mean? Because like for me to put somebody on, it's going to be because I think that they decent. Like I don't have to get nobody no job. I could have just been selfish. And you know, and left it at that. So listen, man. Listen, I appreciate both of y'all calling in.
Much love, Omar. Much love.
You know, without a doubt, and definitely call back. Call back anytime, man. Appreciate y'all.
I'll be back with
I'm gonna say this real quick, right?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give you the same advice that you gave me a couple of weeks ago. Which is just be true to yourself, and the rest will work itself out.
Works for me.
Absolutely. Y'all be blessed.
All right, man. Peace, y'all.
Peace on those.
All right.
All right. Good calls. Appreciate y'all. But yeah, man, you know, this is one of those things. You know, like along with the frustration of trying to just keep your own job, manage your own finances, keep a roof over your head, make sure that you're able to take care of yourself, take care of your family, keep yourself in good order. You know, having to deal with other people that or trying to help out other people, help them get on their feet, or try to make them realize what needs to be done in order to do better in their lives. It can mess you up. It can mess you up, and you don't really even have to put yourself through all of that. But you might extend yourself because you believe that everybody should have a chance, or at least have a decent first chance. Even if they don't deserve a second chance, you might feel like they deserve a good first chance. But when you're trying to help somebody, and you realize, like, when it comes to getting a job, keeping a job, or whatever, you realize it ain't all that hard. Like, it ain't all that hard to keep a job. All you got to do is a couple of things. Basically, keeping a job is almost like going to jail. You can make it through a prison stay if you basically, you know, don't try to act tough, don't try to act like a punk, whatever. You know, speak when spoken to. Don't try to do too much. It's the same thing at a job. Some people come into the job and they automatically get this gangster mentality. The gangster mentality, you know. Now they want to form cliques at the job. And you know how cliques at the job go. Your clique will tell you that you can't get fired. They can't do this. They'll tell you all of this shit that a job can't do. They can't do this to you. They can't do this to all this, that, and the third. And guess what happens? The main person that was telling everybody what their rights are, he fuck around and get fired, and then everybody else back off. It's like the bully got beat up, and all of the punks start running. Like, oh no, if he can beat him, then he can beat all of us. Because people going to start thinking like, oh, yeah, such and such was a good person, and they, it's messed up that they got fired. I can't believe they did them like that, but they ain't gonna let it happen to them. You ain't going. Somebody else get fired. You ain't going to quit because of them unless you a damn fool. You didn't get the job because of them, so why would you lose your job because of them? It don't make the math ain't mathing for me. I'm sorry, the math ain't mathing. That's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. So when we talk about somebody not being able to save somebody's job to save their lives, we're talking about a situation where somebody is undisciplined, hard-headed, don't want to listen, and basically, immature and irresponsible. It ain't that hard to get a job. It ain't that hard to keep a job. More than likely, if you've lost a job, it's because you wanted to lose a job, because you didn't. That didn't have to happen. Let me see here. Info spot. I think you tried to call in, but the lines were clogged up. If you call back, you should be able to get in now. My dude. Everything should be all right. So, but yeah. So many times when it comes to our employment, we allow our egos to get in the way. And I understand. I totally get it. But at the end of the day, we need the job. We only got the job because we needed a job. You may be making decent money. You may be just making okay money. You may not be making the kind of money that you make. That you want to make. But you chose this job. And so when somebody else is extending themselves to try to help you keep the job that you got, and you basically give them your ass to kiss. It is what it is. But that just seems so unfair. It just don't seem right. But it happens. Life happens, But trying to keep your own job is one thing. Trying to keep a job for somebody else is a whole other thing. So here you are working hard on your job, and now you're working hard trying to keep somebody else to, able to keep working. But it's not. When I asked the question to Vita and Gavin about have you ever dated somebody, gone with somebody, been in love with somebody, or married somebody who couldn't keep a job? That's serious shit. All right.
You have a call from.
All right.
Ed from Detroit.
Ed from Detroit, welcome to the Daily Go-Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight? What's good?
Hey, man, good topic. Just catching on the tail end. But anyway, I remembered a story. This goes back to the 90s. I was working at a community center. I was doing lifeguarding, and I also did swim classes. And I had a friend, well, kind of a friend, sort of friend I knew. Brian was his name. Long story short, he got himself in trouble shoplifting. And this was like his second charge or time he got arrested, like within a year or so. He used to steal all kinds of shit. So anyway, I get a call from my good friend Eric, who he knows Eric, and he says, hey, I need to help him out, man. He's got to do like 120 hours of community service, or 80 hours of community service it was, to stay out of jail, and all this shit they really nailed his ass with. And so I called and talked to him, went over to the house, and I'll vouch for you, because I know some people have come in there and done stuff. They'll have you sweep floors and work with housekeeping, and then there's an engineer there might have help when they have stuff going on in the they have like a gymnasium, and then they had another like a conference room, you know, when they would set up furniture and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So long story short, talked to one of the head people there, and they're like, all right. And then they asked me what he did, what happened, and they gave me some paperwork. Just tell them, all right, you know, took it over till we fill it out. So I went through all this shit. So he showed up like the first day. It was about like a week later. And then my boss was like, okay, what 2 days here when I'll get this all scheduled for you. And like after the second day of showing up, he didn't show up, and he still had like 60 some fucking hours to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then he pulls me in the office. He goes, man, what's with your friend Brian, man? He goes, didn't show up. And he says, I called like twice, left a message, say, did something come up? You know, what's going on? He said, I'm not even getting an answer from him. I says, well, you know, I had to apologize. I don't know what the hell. I'll see if I can find out and get back with you. I called him. The guy doesn't even return my fucking calls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I just told Eric, I said, you know what? Fuck it. Sure as shit, man. Like, I think it was 6 months later, get a call. And he's like, oh man, I got like a week to get these community service hours. This will go to the fucking judge, and I'll be going to the county jail. I said, hey, you go fucking figure it out. I said, I'm not going to get egg on my face the second time.
Yeah, shit like that. I mean,
yeah.
The
That's what you get for helping someone out, you know?
that is a crazy story. That is a crazy story. You would think that he would at least be able to hold on, you know, for that purpose. So all of us, because he has the threat of having to actually serve time, now becomes your problem. You know, no sense of urgency before to at least act responsibly. And, oh man, yeah, I know plenty of stories like that, and it's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass, you know, like, and you just wonder, like, I don't know, man. Like, who raised you? Like, what the hell? How do you miss the basics? I mean, you know, you don't work, you don't eat. Where you going to get money to buy the food if you don't work? I don't care whether you have a 9-to-5 job or not. You have to have a way to have an income. You know, I mean, I don't see the hard part in this, but people make it hard for you, and your personal feelings for them can make the situation way harder because you're trying to help somebody that may not be able to be helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was just, I mean, irresponsible, and then like a narcissist, just all about himself. He was
that part,
drinking, chasing women, and then, you know, it was a couple years later he got hit with the DUIs, doing, you know, dumb stuff. I haven't seen this guy, gosh, probably since like 2001 or 02.
Oh yeah, it was back in the day. Okay.
Yeah, but this back in my 20s, but it's just like unbelievable just how people can be. Like, what the fuck, dude? From what I heard happened with him, with the story was, he had to go back to his probation officer, and his probation officer told him to call this guy, and he says, you got 2 weeks or a week to get these community service hours knocked out. Or he says, I'm just sending this paperwork into the fucking judge of the court, and you can go do some time in county jail. And he was like, everything went on hold for him, and he had to knock the hours out. But just, yeah, it sucks. You try to be nice, you try to help out some people, you know. What's the old saying too? You know, you give someone an inch, they'll take a mile.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad used to always say, no good deed will go unpunished. So in other words, you do something good for somebody and they do something bad to you. It's just fucked up. It's fucked up. But like I said, it's frustrating. Because like when it's somebody that's close to you, you may be taking more than just their job into consideration. Like in the case where it might be your brother or your sister, and then you're thinking about your nieces and your nephews that are going to have to suffer because their mom or their dad can't, your sister or your brother can't keep a job. And you're thinking like, what the hell is up with that? What do you mean you can't keep a job? Why? at a certain age, what do you mean you can't keep a job? We're not talking about being a cashier at Walmart or something like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you understand what I mean. We're not talking about transitional occupations. We're talking about, if you have a growing family or whatever, and you know that they need to be financially provided for. How are you going to do that? You can't keep a job.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
Some of the stuff is just, well, actually, most of the stuff I see, well, I've been at this job now where I'm working for almost 15 years, and I've seen a lot of people just get let go over dumb shit, common sense stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they get 4 or 5 rates, and you think something's major going on, but they're just irresponsible, and then they get a write up.
That's all to it.
Write up warning, then they'll get like a day off work, and then they,
Mm-hmm.
then they're all surprised when they get let go. Well, they're only going to cut you so much slack, and you're gone. And just I'd just be preaching to the choir.
Listen, man, I know exactly what you mean. Because I'm a manager, and so I go through this shit. I see this shit every day. And I'm thinking like, this is a whole process that has to happen before you get fired. And you made sure that you wrote out the whole process. Everything wrong to do, you did. And yeah. And you looking all crazy when they let you go. You know how many people I've worked with that are on their final warning and they still get violations? Some of them have slipped through the cracks because you can make a recommendation to give them another final, or to either keep them on a final warning or to reissue another final warning. So jobs have been saved, and not even in the interest of the company. It's not always a situation where the company feels like it would be more to their benefit to keep this person. A lot of times it's personal. Like, we may have some insider information about certain things that are going on with them and their family and this or their situation. And it's sort of like a sympathy thing. But I'm thinking, like, if somebody went out of their way in order to help you keep your job, but then you don't even act like you want to keep the job. So you're going to let you're going to let somebody else do all of the work of trying to help you keep your job. When you think about it, it just sounds ridiculous. All right. We're getting ready to do these birthday shout outs, but I'm glad you called in because I wanted to ask you a question. It looks
sure, go ahead, because I only have a question for you with a similar situation with my job, in your opinion. But go ahead with your question first.
Well, this is a football question. I thought I thought your prophecy was going to come through. I thought it was going to be the Eagles and the Bills.
Yeah.
And once again, the damn Kansas City and the damn Chiefs. I don't know. I saw the game, whatever. But now I just want to know what you think. What do you think about this matchup? Okay,
I'm going to skip right to the Bills and Chiefs game for you. Okay, my thoughts on it. One, with the Bills, I don't care what NFL team you are, if you keep putting yourself in 4th down situations, you're going to get burnt. You got lucky on the goal line. Now, that call on the last offensive drive, where I believe it was the QB did that like quarterback sneak.
Yeah.
And to me, it appeared to be forward progression, 1st down, and he got pushed back.
It was a first down. It was a first down.
Right. Okay. But I also look at it like, okay, I could see that going either way. It's really tough to gauge the line. But here's where I have a problem with it. Just like you talked about these officials of Casey. If that would have been the shoe on the other foot and the Chiefs, and that would have been McCombs, they would have gave him that 1st down all day, every day.
Oh, no way they wouldn't have gave it to him. So.
Yeah, with McCombs. Like, are you saying they wouldn't have gave it to him?
They would have gave it to Mahomes. Absolutely. You would have got that. That would have been a 1st down.
Yeah. I look at it. I feel the Eagles are the more rounded, better team, but I'm still kind of cautious where the Chiefs find ways to win. The Eagles got to not have this thing 2 minutes in a 3-point game. When 2 minutes come, those Eagles either need 7 points or 3 points, and they got the ball. And all they need is a couple first downs and good play on the ball. Don't let that ball go in McCollum's hands with 1 minute and 20 seconds, and all he needs to do is get in field goal range, and he's got 2 timeouts to work with Juju Schuster and Kelsey. Yeah, I like Saquon too. It's going to be a hell of a game. I thought the Bills would pull it out, but hey.
You can't keep it close with the Chiefs. The Eagles are going to have to make this a 2-score game. That's it. They will not win if it's a 1-score game, and and no bullshit. They are going to have to take the entire game out of the refs' hands because we already know they're not going to get those calls. They're not going to get those calls. They are going to have to win by 2 scores. Whether it's, and I don't mean 8 points. It's going to have to be 9 or better. No way will the Eagles beat the Chiefs by a 1-score game. This will not be a replay of 2023. There will be no 35-38 score in this game. But the Eagles are going to win. I'm sure of it. They are going to win, but they are going to have to win decisively. The Chiefs only lost 1 game this season, and it was a decisive loss. That's the only way it can be done. So that's what's going to happen with that. But I wanted to get your take on that. What did you have to ask me?
Oh, for sure. With my job, I got to go in tomorrow. I have a powwow with my boss. Long story short, last week I was scheduled to work overtime for the Martin Luther King holiday. Mm-hmm. So I worked New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. We usually don't get back-to-back holidays. They rotate it, so mine might be, let's say, Good Friday or whatever. Called her up, said, hey, I see you got me scheduled on this. Is this right? So I can make plans and everything, or is this an error you got? Because our schedule gets done by the month,
Okay.
And she says, oh, no, this is right, because I need so-and-so to work the President's Day, the next holiday. I says, okay, I got you, because it is a new year. Maybe it's just the luck of the draw. I'm on the first holiday coming up. Gotcha. Sends me a text message the day before when I'm at work, like literally about 22 hours before. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, I know it's on the paper schedule, on the schedule I call it the paper schedule. You're not coming in tomorrow. I got so-and-so working that tomorrow. And I said, what? I said, I asked you about this. And I said, it's even on the schedule too. I said, and you're giving me less than a day's notice. And she goes, oh, this is texting. It's just an oversight. So I text back, I said, an oversight? I just put less than a day's notice? I said, I'm disappointed in you. And then about a half hour later, I'm working and I get a phone call at work, and she just lost it, telling me, who are you to dismiss me? I'll dismiss your ass. I'll tell you, you can go take the day off work. As a matter of fact, and this it was just ranting and raving, and then slammed the phone on me. Oh, which she also threatened is, I'll take this up to Human Resources with you. So I sent an email, everything that happened, send it to the head of Human Resources. I'm not one to be intimidated or threatening. If you're not happy about something, you want to go up to HR and you feel I'm out of line, go do it. Don't threaten me. Tell me you're going to send me home and then try to scare me or something at the HR. So I said, okay. Then at the HR, so we're having, I think it's more like an arbitration.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So one other point is I'm really going to point out and say, listen, when I say I'm disappointing you, it's not a nice thing, but I said it's not an insult. It's not a threat. It's a criticism.
Yeah.
I said I directly to you, and then I'm just going to also play the shoe on the other foot. Say, hey, if you asked me and there was something important going on, can I do overtime? Put me on the schedule I'm not talking a sick day, and I give you less than a day's notice and say, oh, I can't come in. There's an oversight on my part. Well, I might not like it, but I'd understand if you said you were disappointed in me, by all means. But anyway, I'm just curious what maybe your opinion or advice would be on this.
No, you're able to be disappointed in somebody. I mean, that was an error on her behalf. It wasn't like you. It was. I mean, you were prepared to go. Like you said, less than a day's notice. So she doesn't know what you had to do in order to switch your schedule around to be able to be available to whatever. But you were honoring your commitment, and she loosely violated her commitment. So I mean, I don't think you have anything to worry about there. She was wrong, and plus calling you with that type of spirit, it won't go well.
No.
As a manager or whatever, it won't go well. It won't. She's not going to win that. That's not smart.
Gotcha. The other thing I just learned is just control my emotions. Don't get baited into if there's some negative things said about me. Just all right, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
We have a meeting.
Yeah, it's best to stay out of the way, but you didn't go too far with it or whatever. You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You should be fine.
All right. Hey, well, thanks. I'll let you know if things turn out too.
That's what's up, man. All right.
One other quick thing is we were talking on the chat. Maybe someday next week, I'd love to do a Super Bowl show, not just to talk about the game coming up, but talk about some past Super Bowls and some of our favorite memories from the games and
Yeah, maybe we'll pick out like a top 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Top 5 or top 10 Super Bowls. Yeah, that'll be a good thing. That's a good look. We may do that. We may do that next Wednesday. That'll be a good day, a good clear day to do it.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, man. Holler at you later.
Take care. Yep.
All right. Good stuff. All right, y'all. Let's do these birthday shout outs and get on up out of here. It's 4:07 in the morning. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious January 29th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them, making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number 1 out the box, Patrice Williams. Happy birthday to you, and Michelle Thompson, and also Robin Fields, Leah Paints, and last but not least, Tamisha Watts. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all, and I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious January 29th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on into the damn to rock out. Rock on and to do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and I said go hard, go for yours, and remember, it can't always go the way you want, but sometimes when you got a job, you gotta stop that fronting. Because what you want and the things that you need, the things that you have to live and actually breathe. You got kids to take care of, a roof overhead. You got to make sure that you got insurance for when you dead. Because so everybody else got to live on. And you act like you don't understand that thing. Like Sean P. Diddy Combs, he put things in perspective, even if you like him or not. Yo, your directive is to make sure that you at least keep a job, keep an income. What the fuck is wrong with you, son? Hey, yo, I have been to the top of the mountain and been down in the valley, working in the alley. I said, Sally likes to go out to eat, so I had to have some money and so I can compete with other brothers that was trying to hold a hand. I was trying to make sure that I made me a few hundred bands so I can compete with whoever, but I gotta make sure that each and every day keep my shit together. But when you trying to keep somebody else's job, you might as well be trying to find a needle in a haystack and rob, because it ain't gonna be easy. They don't want to do the things that they need to do, so it's on you. You and your crew, keep your shit straight. Yo, stay away from all of them cats out here that's trying to hate. And if they want to be lazy and they are immature, you keep yourself out the way. See you another day. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, and love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night for another Daily Go Getimism show, so make sure y'all come on through, man. Hit the like button before y'all get on up out of here. We was light on the likes tonight. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Peace, y'all.